आप्यायन्तु ममङ्गानि वाक्प्राणचक्षुश्रोत्रम् अथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। May my limbs, speech, vital force, eyes, ears, as also strength and all the organs become well developed. Everything is the Brahman revealed in the Upanishads. May I not deny Brahman. May not Brahman deny me. Let there be no spurning of me by Brahman. Let there be no rejection of Brahman by me. May all the virtues that are spoken of in the Upanishads repose in me, who am engaged in the pursuit of the self. May they repose in me. Om, peace, peace, peace. In the first session, we were introduced to this mystery at the very heart of our existence, right now, our lives, consciousness. And the way it was introduced was the remarkable language. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso mano yad vachoha vacham sau pranasya pranaha chakshushas chakshuratimuchya dhira pretya asmad lokadamrita bhavanti. You wanted to know how is it that we hear and see and think and speak, and well, it is because of the ear of the ear, it's because of the mind, it's because of the speech, it's because of the life of the life, it is because of the eyes of the eyes. And realizing that entity, which entity? The eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind. Realizing that, when we ascertain that, when we realize what it is, then one goes beyond, one transcends this body and mind. One goes beyond all limitations, one attains immortality, fulfillment, peace, here and now itself, and also after death. One is liberated. So, very powerful, hard-hitting teaching in one long sentence. We were introduced to it. And then further, the next blow came. It's actually not a blow, it's a further clarification. What is it that we are talking about? When he says, na tatra vag gacchati, na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati no manaha, na vidmo na vijanimo yatheita danushishyad. We cannot teach it to you. Why not? Because we do not know it ourselves. And we do not know how it can be taught. Why not? Because the eyes do not go there. When I say the eyes do not go there, it means you can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. Speech cannot express it. Navag gacchati. The speech cannot express it. When you say speech cannot express it, what is meant? It's not only speech, all the organs of our action. You can't walk to the absolute reality. You can't catch hold of the absolute, so on. None of the organs of action will attain it. And mind cannot conceive of it. Have you thought about it? Have you understood it? Yes. Then that's not it. Whatever you have understood, because mind cannot conceive of it. Therefore, we do not know it. Not in the sense of plain ignorance. We don't know what you're talking about. Not in that sense. We truly, truly know it. That's why we say we don't know it. Because it cannot be known as an object of the senses, it cannot be formulated in speech, and it cannot be grasped by the mind, conceived of in thought or intellect. Okay. Then what do? Here is the teaching, the core teaching. Anya deva tadvidita datho avidita dadhi iti shushruma purvesham yenas tadvyacha chakshire. It is other than anything that is known or knowable. And it is other than anything that is completely unknown. Other than the known, other than the unknown. Thus it was taught to us by the ancient teachers, which I am now transmitting to you. And we understood what is meant by that. What is meant by that is this consciousness you're talking about, it's the self. It's not an object. What we are looking for is not an object to be known or to be unknown. Forget all that we know and all that we do not know. Forget every object of knowledge and every object that we do not know. Whatever in this universe is there to know, and whatever is it that we do not know at all. What we have seen, what we have not seen. What has been heard, not heard. What has been thought of, has not been thought of. What has been understood and not been understood. What has been remembered, what has been forgotten or never remembered at all. All that forget. It's nothing. No, it's not nothing. It's you. In fact, this entire process is to refine what is it that you are. What is it that I am? It is pointing towards the eye of the I. So the first question, by what light are we able to see, hear, smell, think, talk? What did it do? It drew our attention to our experience of life here and now. Notice how beautiful it is. It is not a question about what to believe in and what not to believe in. Your experience of life right now. So it's not a question of faith in something. Second, it's also not something extraordinary. Notice the nature of the question. It's not a question like, say, Vivekananda asked Sri Ramakrishna, have you seen God? No, it's a question about, do you see, hear, smell, taste, touch? Do you think? Do you speak? Do you have these experiences? Do you breathe in? Do you breathe out? Are you awake? Do you dream? Do you sleep? Our quotidian, daily experiences, always available, all the time. That's what the attention is drawn to. That's the question. And then the answer comes, all of this, which we call our daily life, which we call our life, is because of something called consciousness. It does not mention that consciousness. It just says that it is something distinct from the body and the mind, and from the body, from the senses, from the mind. It's distinct. But it pervades all of our experiences. Bodily experiences, sensory experiences, inner world of thoughts and feelings. It pervades all of that and makes it possible. And it is one. These are the distinctions, remember? Don't look like you're listening to breaking news, CNN. No, we heard all this in the morning. So this is what we are introduced to. And now in this teaching, is other than the known, other than the unknown, this consciousness, this light which lights up our lives, it is introduced to us as you the self. Utterly devoid of any objective content. Not the known, not the unknown. The entire universe can be neatly divided into known and unknown. And yet it's something, we're talking about something so radical, which was not understood till now. You, saying something which we always thought about. Yes, you are not an object. So the subject is something utterly different from the object. Utterly radical. It's been introduced to us. Now what we will do in this session is what I call experiential knowledge. We will try to track it in our experience here and now, what has been taught till now. We will unpack what has been taught till now. What we have to do is listen carefully and don't strain. Be relaxed and listen carefully and see, do I get what is being said? And most important, is it true? Is it real right now? I will say some stunning things, some amazing things about you, which you never thought of earlier. But it's a fact, and it's such a straightforward fact. Vivekananda calls it an open secret. It's only when I point it out to you, if we have understood what has been going on, we have been listening to Vedanta earlier also, if we have understood what has been going on, we should be able to say, of course, obviously. And yet it is. We never thought about it earlier. Right now. And we will keep noticing it and staying with it. But it's meditation. And you'll see how it is different from the yogic meditation or from the mindfulness meditation. It's different. It's still meditation. It's different. So, over the next several minutes, we will do this. And then we will stop for a while and open up for questions. We'll go back again to the reasoning part of it at the end. So, if you like, you can sit up straight and be relaxed. Don't strain at all. If at any point you feel like, you feel an ache or a cough or a sneeze or an itch, no problem. Just don't strain. But come back to stillness as soon as possible. The effort will be the mild effort not to move physically. Our attention will be to thought, to listening to what is being said and noticing. Americans have a phrase, keep it real. Keep it real. Track it in reality. See that it is not theory, speculation, something philosophical. No, it's as real as seeing, as real as breathing in and breathing out, right now, here. If you can keep it real till the very end, you'll be enlightened. I guarantee it. But at the very end, there might be something that might be a bit too much to swallow. So you might say, that sounds theoretical. All right, that's all right. But I will make a claim that till almost the very end, till almost the last thing I will bring up, till almost that, till 90% of the presentation, which will go on now, experiential knowledge, it should be obvious once it's pointed out. It's already obvious. It should be. If it's not obvious, don't feel bad about it. And just ask questions afterwards. We'll clarify it. So, let us draw our attention to our experience. Which experience, Swami? Any experience. For example, you're all very serious meditators, already with eyes closed. If you like, you can open your eyes and take a look around. Whatever we are seeing now, clearly we are conscious. Whatever we see colors, shapes, near and far, people, chairs, the ceiling, the room, lights. But we are conscious. And now when we close our eyes and listen, I don't know about you, but I can hear the sound of my own voice. And if I keep quiet, I can hear the sound of the traffic outside. But I notice I am conscious. When I listen to the sound of the traffic, when I listen to the Swami's voice, these are all very different experiences, but I am conscious. Consciousness is there. Whatever I see, or I have ever seen, or I will ever see, whatever I hear, or have ever heard, or will hear in the future, one thing is sure. I am conscious. And by the way, you don't have to keep your eyes closed also. If you at some time you feel, open your eyes and listen to me. You can do that also. And anytime you feel, you close your eyes and turn inwards, you can do that also. No worries about it. And it is the same consciousness. What do I mean by that? When I open my eyes and look at you, when I close my eyes and listen to the traffic, the experiences are very different. But the consciousness is the same. Let us appreciate in which sense it is the same consciousness experiencing colors and shapes with eyes open and with eyes closed, focusing, giving attention to the sounds, experiencing sounds of traffic. Same consciousness. And it is the same consciousness which experiences smell, all kinds of odors. And it's the same consciousness which experiences tastes and touch, heat, cold, pressure. Same consciousness. In all our perceptions, visual, auditory, olfactory, gustatory, And what is the tactile? In all our perceptions, consciousness is there. Otherwise, perception would not be possible. And it's the same consciousness. It's been there always, and it's there now. And as long as perceptions continue, same consciousness will be there. But then notice, it is also the same consciousness in all our actions. When we speak, walk, drive, consciousness is there. These are all events taking place in consciousness. I don't mean we are self-conscious. Sometimes we are, sometimes we are not. Even when we are not self-conscious, these are still events in consciousness. These are experienced. I am playing a game of tennis. I am consciously playing a game of tennis. That's one experience. I'm not conscious about it at all. I'm concentrating on the game of tennis. Consciousness is there. Will I ever say, I played the game of tennis, but there was no consciousness there? Nothing was there. Impossible. If you claim to play the game of tennis or listen to a piece of music, there must have been consciousness to enable that perception, to enable that action. So all actions, all our actions, whatever we do, there is consciousness in the background. You can call it consciousness, you can call it awareness. Come to our inner life. Thoughts, memories, judgments, desires, likes and dislikes, the sense of ego. Everywhere in the background is consciousness. Look inwards. Think a thought. What thought, Swami? ABCD. This is consciousness, clearly. That's why I've experienced ABCD. Every thought, consciousness. Every feeling. I feel good. There is consciousness there. I don't feel so good. There is consciousness there. And it's the same consciousness which give you the experience of feeling great, which give you the experience of feeling depressed. I feel love. Consciousness is there. I hate. Consciousness is there. The feelings are very different, but consciousness is there and it's the same consciousness. In all our thoughts, in memories and emotions, feelings, consciousness is there. Therefore, my point here is that in all our perceptions, actions, and our inner life of thoughts and emotions, consciousness is constantly there. It's there. This consciousness, which illumines our perceptions, which enables and illumines our actions, which enables and illumines our thoughts and memories and emotions. Such a tremendous variety. But this consciousness which is constantly there is one and the same. In Sanskrit, this is called Sakshi, the witness consciousness. Sakshi. Doesn't matter what the name is, but this is one term which illumines all perceptions, actions, thoughts, memories, feelings. Sakshi. Notice, you're relaxed, breathing normally. Be aware of the in-breath and out-breath. And of course, you will notice there's consciousness there, right? Yes, of course. Now, let us notice one more interesting thing about this consciousness, this awareness. That it is continuously there. It is constantly there. There is no break in it. When you see something with your eyes open and when you don't see anything, consciousness continuously illumined the seen and then the blank, the darkness of not seeing. When you are hearing things and then you put earplugs and don't hear anything, consciousness constantly illumined the sounds and the absence of sound. Perceptions and the absence of perception, constantly illumined by consciousness. Thoughts, gaps between thoughts, feelings, memories, loss of memory, all constantly illumined by consciousness. Consciousness is always there, or rather, always here. Somebody used the term never not here. When you're listening, relaxed, listening, if you feel your mind wandering, open your eyes. Take a look at me. If you feel falling asleep, consciousness will be there, but the attention will go away. And the listening will not, experiential knowledge will not happen. Consciousness does not require any effort, but this attention requires effort. Therefore, if you feel mind is wandering, I'm thinking about other things, open your eyes. Look at the orange guy who's talking. And then again go back to, if you feel inward again, go back there. So this constant presence of consciousness, in the presence and absence of perceptions, in the presence and absence of actions, in the presence and absence of thoughts and memories. This constant presence of consciousness, this is called nirantaram, without break. Nirantaram. I remember in the mountains I was sitting and studying with a monk, and to explain this nirantaram, we were sitting on the bank of the Ganga in Gangotri. And he said to us, "O monks, I was thinking how to explain this, illustrate this nirantaram to you, unbroken. Then I saw in front of me, and you hear the constant roar of the Ganga, unbroken flow of water. Like that, consciousness is unbroken. Nirantaram. Literally, it means without any break. Consciousness is there. Relaxed. Notice one more feature of this consciousness, this awareness. It is not only the witness of all our experiences of life, not only unbroken, but also unchanging. Unchanging. What do I mean by that? Something can be constantly there, but constantly changing. Like the example of the Ganga, the river. The river is constantly there, and we could hear the sound of the river and look at the river. It's constantly there. But it's constantly changing too. All the water is flowing fast. It's a tremendous change. But is this consciousness, is it constantly changing? The contents of consciousness are constantly changing. The contents of our perceptions, the contents of my mind, changing, coming and going. Lot of activity, like the river. But is consciousness constantly changing? No. Rather, a better example is the screen on which movies are played. There's so much drama going on in the movie. Cops and robbers and car chases and whatnot. Tragedies and comedies, space battles and whatnot. But the screen is there, it's there constantly, and it's also there unchangingly. Listening and awake and listening, relaxed, not too relaxed because you fall asleep then. So this is another feature I notice about this consciousness. It's constantly there, but it's also unchangingly there. If you feel, no, it is changing, notice, whatever you notice as changing will be an object, will be a perception, will be a thought, will be a memory, will be a feeling. These are all changing. But consciousness in the background, not changing. In fact, when we notice what we are talking about, when we try to understand it, we'll see it logically cannot change. Because whatever changes, you can say it changes only because you noticed it. If you notice it, it's an object to consciousness. It's something in the known. But consciousness is not the known, not the unknown. It cannot change logically, therefore. In Sanskrit, this is called nirvikara. Consciousness is nirvikara, unchanging. The light behind all our experiences, Sakshi, constantly there, nirantaram, unchangingly there, nirvikara. Relax. Enjoy consciousness. Whatever happens, It's an object appearing in consciousness. And whatever does not happen, it's the absence of objects appearing in consciousness. Consciousness is fine. In fact, that brings us to another interesting feature of consciousness. It is ever the same. Not only it's ever there and constantly there and unchangingly there, but it is always the same. Consciousness is not damaged or traumatized by our experiences, no matter how horrible our experiences. Body may be damaged, body may be wounded, injured, sick. Mind may be upset, even traumatized, even deeply unhappy. But consciousness by itself, if I meet with a sudden shock, maybe an accident, maybe I hurt a part of my body, there's an injury, and maybe my mind is very upset. But apart from the injury to the body, apart from the upset in the mind, by itself, did anything happen to consciousness? Except that it revealed these experiences. Nothing. Consciousness is not damaged, not increased, not diminished by any experience, by any thought, by any perception, by any experience whatsoever, by any action. No matter what happens to the body, no matter what happens to the mind, consciousness is not affected. Not only not affected, it's equally there, it is also equal in every experience. This is something worth savoring. When I have an intensely happy experience, maybe watching a wonderful, a park in the sunset and beautiful colors, spring, it's a wonderful, wonderful, uplifting experience. I feel uplifted. Its sensory experience is wonderful. The inner emotion is sublime and wonderful. And sometimes maybe it's a miserable situation, maybe it's too hot or too cold, and maybe the world outside it's an ugly scene and I'm not feeling particularly good. The consciousness which illumines that happy scene and the happy feeling, and the consciousness which illumines and reveals the miserable scene and the miserable feeling, look at the nature of that consciousness. If you were to ascribe a feeling to that consciousness, how does it feel? It feels the same. The light which illumines a beautiful flower, and the light with the same light, if you bring a patch of mud before that light, is the same light. The light is not affected by it, nor does it change. Our best experiences don't enhance consciousness. Our worst experiences do not degrade consciousness. And I want us to notice this as a fact, not as a claim. You'll see how wrong it is to use terms like consciousness enhancing drugs, change in the state of consciousness. I have developed my consciousness. In all of these cases, you mean a change in the mind, a change in our sensory experiences. Consciousness itself has not changed. This ever the same, never damaged, never deteriorating, never traumatized nature of consciousness, ever the same, homogeneous everywhere, in every circumstance. In Sanskrit, there's a beautiful word. It is called samaha. Sama. The same. It is unconditionally the same. Let us appreciate that whatever our experiences are, ever have been, because it's constantly there, even when I did not notice it, when I never thought about it, it was there all my life. You can't think of a time when it was not there. Memory will fade away. Consciousness was there at that time. And it is there now. And it will be there. Notice one thing. Right now, if your eyes are closed, you're aware. Notice I am aware. Gently open the eyes. Gently. Isn't the awareness there? Same awareness, same consciousness. Wasn't it constant? Wasn't it unchanging? Wasn't it samaha, equal? The experiences are not equal. When I close my eyes and I open my eyes, it's a much richer experience. When I close my eyes, it's uniform blankness. It's samaha. Notice another thing about consciousness. It's directly accessible to us. How far is consciousness from you? Is it very far? Is it close? Yeah, it's closer than the close. Upanishad says nearer than the nearest. It's you. So it's closest to you. It's directly available to you. Let me put it this way. There are things which if you open your eyes, you can see. With your ears, with our ears we can hear. With our skin we can touch, smell, taste. These are called in Sanskrit pratyaksha, directly perceptible. Sounds, sights, smells, taste, touch, directly perceptible. And there are things which are not directly perceptible. What's outside this room, I can't see. What's far away, what's going on near Brandenburg Gate, I can't see it now. I can't even hear it. It's there. My knowledge of Brandenburg Gate or what's outside Berlin, it is called indirect knowledge, not available to my senses. So knowledge which we can have, experience it directly with our senses, seeing, hearing, this is in Sanskrit called pratyaksha, perception, literally perception. But that which is beyond the range of our senses is called paroksha, beyond the range of our senses. But what about this Atman, this consciousness, this awareness? Is it something that you can see? We were just told you can't see it, you can't hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. So it can't be seen. It's not pratyaksha, it's not a perception. I am aware, but how do I know I am aware? How is this awareness evident to me? Not by seeing it, not by hearing it. Rather, seeing and hearing are mediated by that awareness, are enabled by that awareness. Oh, so it is beyond the range of my perception? Do I have to read about it in the news that I am aware? If I ask Swami, ask me, check, are you aware? I say, Swami, let me check my news, the phone. Am I aware or not? Google, tell me, am I aware? No. I remember once when Siri became a new thing, we asked in the monastery in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, one monk in front of me asked Siri, what is consciousness? And Siri replied, it is strange that you would ask me that. That you would ask me that. Do we have to check? No. This consciousness is not something which is perceptible, pratyaksha. It's not something which is imperceptible also, which we have to depend on, somebody has to come and tell us or have to read in a book. No. It is rather directly available to us, prior to perception. In Sanskrit, it is not pratyaksha, it is not paroksha. The Sanskrit word for it is directly experienced, aparoksha. The literal meaning of aparoksha is non-indirect. Not direct. Direct, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting. Indirect, distant. You tell me, I will hear. Or I'll read about it on the phone. Indirect knowledge. I read about it in the book. My teacher told me. It's there in my holy book that there is a heaven. These are indirect knowledge. Direct, what I see. But consciousness, it's not direct. You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it. It's not indirect. You don't have to wait to read about it in a textbook. You are aware. It is called aparoksha, not direct. Aparoksha. I sometimes translate this as directly available or always available, instantly available to us. See, all that is known through senses depends on the senses. Yes, this is direct perception, but still depends on my senses. I should be able to see, to enjoy this. I should be able to hear, to listen to this. So it is direct perception, no doubt, but always mediated through sense organs and the mind. But consciousness is not mediated through sense organs of the mind. Consciousness is directly revealed to us. I am aware is directly I am aware. This is called aparoksha, direct, or not indirect, and not direct. A little further. Everything is known to me because of consciousness. But to know that I am conscious or know that I am aware does not require another awareness. Awareness is like the light self-revealed. But here you have to be careful. So the light illumines everything. And does the light illumine itself? That is technically not correct. Even common sense wise and philosophically also. This self-referential, that is not allowed in philosophy. A thing cannot operate on itself. A knife cannot cut itself. So notice, the light, let's just stay with the light example. The light illumines what was in darkness. The room was in darkness, switch on the light removed the darkness and you could see the room. So what was in darkness was now revealed by the light. This is called illumination. But in that sense, light does not illumine itself. Was the light ever in darkness? Did the light reveal itself by removing darkness and then showing itself? No. The light, as long as the light is on, is never in darkness. The light is all, if it's on, it's shining. It does not need to remove darkness to show itself. So this is called self-luminosity. It's an example. Even the light is not really self-luminous, because if you close your eyes, no light. I mentioned light of lights. So consciousness is the light of lights. It is the ultimate self-luminous entity, which is itself shining and revealing everything else. What do you mean by everything else? It reveals the mind, and through the mind we are aware of the sensory systems. Through our sensory systems we are aware of the world, by which I mean we see the world, hear, smell, taste, touch. But the light behind all our sensory experience, the light behind all our mental experience, that light, self-luminous light, that is this consciousness. Again, appreciate, is it not so? My knowledge of consciousness, my awareness that I am aware, on what does it depend? You might say, well, at least I have to attend to it, then only I am aware that I am aware. Yes, but even when I am not aware of my awareness, is awareness there or not? Yes. Otherwise I wouldn't have any experience of life. This is in Sanskrit called swaprakasha, self-luminous. Consciousness is self-luminous. Swaprakasha, directly shining. The Upanishads make a big deal out of it. One of Swami Vivekananda's favorite lines in the Upanishads, found in the Katha Upanishad, in the Mundaka Upanishad. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That shining, everything else shines here. By its light, everything here is lit up. So consciousness shining, everything else shines here. Everything else means mind, senses, world. By its light, everything here is lit up. By the light of consciousness, everything in our inner life and our sensory life, external world, everything is lit up by the light of consciousness. This is called in Sanskrit swaprakasha. Swaprakasha. Now, this consciousness, next, it's a no-brainer. It's very simple, but also very dramatic. This consciousness we are talking about, it is you, is it not? It is us, it is I, it is you. In Sanskrit, this is called Atma. It's the most obvious thing. What are we talking about? Me. But notice this you, which is consciousness. Clearly, this you is not the body. The body is there, but it's not. We are not talking about you, the body. We are not even talking about you, the mind, because even the mind is an object to consciousness. It is the known. No, there's so much in the body which is unknown. Doctor can know, I don't know it. All right, it's the unknown. But consciousness is neither the known nor the unknown. You are that consciousness which is neither the known nor the unknown. Therefore, you are not the body. You are not the mind, neither the conscious mind, so-called, or the subconscious mind, so beloved of Freud. Neither that. If I am not the body-mind, I am awareness only, then I am not the person. I am not the person. After all, till now I thought I'm this person. If I'm anything, I'm this person. Vedanta is not denying the person. Vedanta is for the first time explaining the person. What is it? It is this awareness with a layer of mind and body. It is this awareness with a layer of the psychological and the biological. And of course, outward layers of the social and economic and political and so on. But inward, core, reality, which we are, irreducible, is awareness, consciousness. Bare awareness. This is Atma. This is the meaning of self. I am consciousness, consciousness I am. I am awareness, awareness I am. What does this mean? Very radical. It means I am not really the body or the mind. I am awareness. And also, even more stunning, it escapes us. What is awareness? It's me. Other than me, no awareness. You might say, no. People next to me are also aware. That's other than me. How do you know? You do not stick to your own experience. In our own experience, the only awareness which we ever find is I, the awareness. Look for any other awareness. Swami, the person next to me, all these people are aware, they are conscious. Maybe, but all we experience are their bodies, are their behaviors, are their language. Do we experience their awareness? No, never. In our own experience, notice, track in your own experience, keep it real. The only awareness you have is you. What are you? Consciousness. What is consciousness? You. This you which is consciousness, this consciousness which is you, in Sanskrit this is called Atma. Now relax. Take a look back upon the territory covered, what we have unpacked. I, this awareness, Atma, I, this awareness, am the witness consciousness. I illumine all my perceptions, sensory perceptions. I illumine and reveal all my thoughts and memories and judgments. I illumine and reveal all my actions, all these actions going on with the body, with the speech. I am the Sakshi, witness consciousness. I, the self, Atma, am also constant, Nirantara. In all experiences, I am constantly there. I am also unchanging, Nirvikara. Not only constantly there, experiences are flowing like a river. Experiences are flowing like a movie or like movies. But I am like the screen of the movie. I am unchanging. And I, this consciousness, I am Samaha. I am always the same. Like the movie screen, where you see the villain and where you see the hero, the movie screen is exactly the same. I am ever the same in my most pleasant experiences and in my most unpleasant experiences. Not only that, my experiences in life leave a scar on my body, on my mind, but not on me, the consciousness. Samaha. And how far do I have to go to find myself, the consciousness? Not far at all. I am right here. When am I available to myself? All the time. Where am I available to myself? Everywhere and here. I am the closest to myself. Consciousness is always closest to me. Always readily available, instantly accessible, directly accessible. Does not require sense organs like perception. Does not require reading a book or looking at the news like the paroksha, the indirect knowledge. It is not directly available to me. That is aparoksha. Instantly, effortlessly, right here, all the time, available to me. This is called aparoksha. But how do I even know this? I am experiencing it. But look at the nature of the experience of consciousness, this awareness of awareness. Look at it. It's not something revealed to me by my sense organs. It's revealed by itself. Swaprakasha. It illumines everything and it reveals itself. It is the light of lights. And it is me. It is I, the real I. It is the I of the I. Atma. No tension, no hurry. It was always available to you. It's available to you right now and will constantly be available to you throughout eternity. That's the promise. This is the Atma, the self, the I of the I. Now, I will make a claim here. See how far it tallies with your experience, with your conviction, with your clarity. Whatever I have said till now, should be pretty easygoing for everybody. Easygoing in the sense, don't struggle with it conceptually. Just notice, is it a fact? When I look at it naively, uncritically, does it feel like, does it appear to be a fact? It should. If it doesn't, formulate your questions afterwards. The doubts can be cleared pretty easily. It's very directly available. One can not only understand this, one can come to see it. The best way of understanding is to see it. See it means notice it in your own experience. Take a look. You'll understand it. Now the next part of what I'm going to say, that a little more will go ahead. This might seem more difficult, but I'm going to make the claim here. What I'm going to say next is also equally, directly, easily available to us, already a fact. But it might sound a little heavy going. I say, wasn't this heavy going enough? Not at all. It's very simple as your own existence. I'm just unpacked what we studied in the morning. I've just shown us what we already are. We just explored ourselves, our self, capital S. But now, the exploration goes really deep, further. This Atma, this self, this you, which is consciousness and consciousness only, this bare awareness, it illumines all our waking. And when we fall asleep and we lose sight of this world, we lose sight of this body, we have no connection with this, we don't experience this body. And we generate a world of dreams. A world of dreams. It comes up. Isn't it this very Atma which is illumining that world of dreams? Yes. It is also the witness of our dream experiences. When the physical world disappears, when I'm not even aware of my body, the same Atma dreams. And when everything ceases in deep sleep, I'm not awake, not dreaming, just blank. I'm not even aware that I'm sleeping. I can't even claim that I'm sleeping. Deep sleep. The contention is the same Atma, the same witness consciousness illumines the utter absence in deep sleep. In fact, a deeper way of appreciating this consciousness which we have been meditating upon till now is to see how this could be present in deep sleep also. It's like this. Eyes open. Are you there? Yeah. Eyes closed. Not seeing anything. Are you there? Yeah. Suppose I don't hear anything, smell anything, taste anything, touch anything. Am I still there? I guess so, yeah. Suppose I'm not thinking anything, not remembering anything, not desiring anything, feeling neutral, nothing very different. Am I still there? Yes. Blank it all out. Am I still there? Although it's not manifest, like light in deep space. When the comet is not there, in darkness of space, it's full of light from the sun. It does seems to be black. Exactly like that. In the absence of the object, apparently the subject also is absent. But that very experience of blankness, Rupert Spira calls it an experience of absence, not an absence of experience. Well put. That is deep sleep. You are equally the illuminer and enabler of the waking experience, the dream experience, and the deep sleep experience. That Atma, you, the consciousness. In Sanskrit, it is called Turiyam. Turiyam. What does it mean? It means the fourth. Waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, Turiyam, the fourth. That one consciousness which in the waking world appears as the waking person. The one consciousness which in the dream world appears as the person in the dream. That one consciousness which in the deep sleep does not appear. That one consciousness is called Turiyam. You are that. Again, I hope you can say, yeah, that's fairly obvious. Or at least I get it. I can accept it. Now the last, where it might seem theoretical or philosophical, not quite a fact yet. I hope till now we can say it's a fact. Make an effort for the last one, then you can claim to be enlightened. The last one is all space is experienced in consciousness. Our idea is that we are consciousness, we are a little flicker of consciousness in a vast space. I'm a little flicker of consciousness in a vast ocean of eternity of time. In the immensity of space, in the eternity of time, I'm just a little flicker of consciousness. But now Vedanta asks us, that isn't all space, whatever space we have experienced, the known space, this one, and the unknown space, aren't they both experienced in consciousness? And I'm giving stress on the word in consciousness. Not consciousness in space, rather space in consciousness. Once a monk in India, in Haridwar, a Vedanta class was going on, and the teacher was saying, you are all pervading, we are all in Hindi, Sarvavyapi. Yeah, we are all pervading consciousness. And the monk at the back of the hall asked, wait a minute, Swami. You are there and not here. And I am here and not there. How are we all pervading? First, appreciate the question. You're saying I am all pervading. But you are there. You're not here. How are you all pervading? All pervading means everywhere. Then the answer, notice the answer now. The teacher, the monk who was teaching said, but here and there, are they not both in you? In Hindi, और यहाँ और वहाँ, क्या दोनों ही आप में नहीं है? What do you mean? If you stand as a body, clearly I am here, I am not there. Even if you stand as a mind, it seems embodied, localized. But if you stand as awareness, then in me the awareness, here is the body appearing, here is the mind appearing, here is space, here and there, both are appearing in me. In me the consciousness, not in me the body. Body, mind, space, all are appearing in me. To make it even more clear, think of our dream experience. In my dream, I'm walking around in a vast park. In the distance, I can see trees and people and a river, and far distance, the sky. And in front of me, here is a flower. But when I wake up, both the here and the there, were they not both in my dream? The whole thing was a creation of my mind. Now we are claiming not the mind. In awareness, in consciousness, body, mind, here and there, space, they are all appearing. Since consciousness, space is appearing in consciousness, consciousness is not limited by space. Not being limited by space, another name is all-pervading. In Sanskrit, Sarvavyapi, not limited by space. Also, time appears in consciousness. In waking, there's a time series being experienced. In dream, there's another time series being, or multiple time series being experienced. In deep sleep, time seems to stop. So this experience of time is in consciousness. Where else could it be? Since time is appearing in consciousness, consciousness is not limited by time. We are limited by time, so I'm keeping a look at the time. But consciousness is not limited by time. Not being limited by time, In Sanskrit, in Sanskrit it is called Nityam, eternal. See, all-pervading and eternal, this is not exactly what it sounds like. When I say all-pervading, it's like, if you light an incense, the fragrance pervades everything. Is it like that? There is a big space and consciousness pervades the space? No. Space itself appears in consciousness, in you, the consciousness. When you say eternal, it feels like something which lasts for a really, really, really long time, in time. No, because time itself is an experience in consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is not bound by time. Therefore, consciousness is eternal. Not bound by time, eternal. Not bound by space, all-pervading. If you thought this is difficult, wait for it, the next part. But this is the final part, so don't worry. All objects, known and unknown, appear and disappear in consciousness. By which I mean they're experienced, they appear in experience and disappear in our experience. Since all objects are in consciousness, consciousness is not limited by object. What do I mean limited by object? What we think is, I am conscious and here is this glass and it's outside me. I am as consciousness becoming aware of this glass which exists outside me. Like light, for example. Light is coming from outside. This glass is outside the light illumines the glass. We are using the light model, but now we are saying something different. The light and the glass are two different things. Light just illumines the glass. But now we are saying whatever we experience in consciousness is experienced in consciousness. Notice the importance of that fact. The glass I can experience without the light. I can switch off the light and I can drink water from the glass also. But the glass you cannot experience without consciousness. In fact, every entity, every person, everything, no matter how tiny, like an atom, or how vast, like a galaxy, they're all experienced in consciousness. You said so many things are not experienced in consciousness. That's the unknown. Whatever is revealed in consciousness is the known. But known and unknown both are in consciousness. Being all objects being in consciousness do not constitute a limit, a countable second to consciousness. No object in consciousness, which appears to be an object separate from consciousness, is actually separate from consciousness. Because it is only experienceable in and through consciousness. It can only appear, by definition, an object is something that can only appear in consciousness. And therefore it gives us a clue. It must be somehow intimately connected to consciousness. Vedanta goes all the way and says it is nothing but consciousness itself, appearing to you as a separate thing, as an object. Therefore, all objects, they do not constitute a countable second to consciousness. In Sanskrit, Advaitam, non-dual. Consciousness is non-dual. Three things we have said. Consciousness is eternal, consciousness is all-pervading, consciousness is non-dual. In Sanskrit, Nitya, Sarvavyapi, Advaitam. All three in one word in Sanskrit. Limitless, infinite. Sanskrit, Anantam. Consciousness is Anantam. But this is you. So you are eternal. You are all pervasive. And you are non-dual with respect to all, not as the body, not as the mind, not as the person, but as this underlying light, this background light which you are. Atma, you are this self. This is eternal, all pervasive, non-dual. Nitya, Sarvavyapi, Advaitam, or in one word, infinite, Anantam, limitless. You, the consciousness, this self, Atma, is limitless. You might say here, this is a little theoretical. It sounds heavy, philosophical. But the Advaitins' claim is, it's as much a fact as you say that I am aware. It's as much a fact as that. The more we understand Advaita Vedanta, the more we see it is just a description of experience. What I mean is, there's a philosopher in England, I think it was Strawson or somebody, who made the difference between a descriptive metaphysics and a revisionary metaphysics. Descriptive metaphysics and revisionary metaphysics. Descriptive metaphysics takes this world as it appears as real and proceeds to describe. Here are substances, here are qualities, here are living beings, non-living beings, here is the world, here is mind. This is a description. It makes a system out of it. Revisionary metaphysics says what we experience is not real. The reality lies deeper. What we are experiencing is appearance. Reality makes a difference between reality and appearance and proceeds to criticize, analyze the appearance to discover the reality. Science is like that. Science is like that. Most metaphysical systems are like that. What I'm saying here is, Advaita Vedanta, when we start, it seems clearly a revisionary metaphysics. It's saying world is false, there's something called Brahman. You're completely revising our experience of life. You're contradicting it flat out. The world is false. There is Brahman, which is reality, and you are that Brahman. This sounds like revisionary metaphysics. Absolutely. If there was a case of revisionary metaphysics, this is it. As we progress in Advaita Vedanta, we begin to see, to our amazement, it is the simplest case of descriptive metaphysics. It's just describing truth as it is now. Anantam, limitless. And this Atma, you, the self, what is it? You may have forgotten, but I'm telling you. Check it out yourself. Are you the witness consciousness, Sakshi? Yes. Are you constantly there in all your experiences? It's a trick question. In all my experiences, of course I will be there. So, Nirantaram, constantly there. Are you unchangingly there all the time? Nirvikaram, yes. Body changes, world changes, mind changes, but I am unchanging as the awareness. Then, Samaha, in every experience I am exactly the same. I am not damaged, traumatized, reduced or increased by any of the experiences. Yes, Samaha, ever the same. Atma, I am the self. And then, am I directly available to myself all the time? Without effort? Without any intermediaries? Aparoksha, yes, I am aparoksha. Am I self-luminous? Am I the light which lights up everything? I shining, everything else shines. By my light, everything here is lit up. Swaprakasha, self-luminous. And then, further, am I the witness consciousness which gives me the experience of waking, dreaming, sleeping? Turiyam, the fourth. And finally, am I this limitless, my own limitlessness, all-pervasiveness, eternality and non-duality, Anantam. I am this. And the claim is, this is an open secret. Vivekananda says, it's an open secret. It's always there and openly there, staring at us in our face. But we never saw it. We're so entranced by two things. First, because nobody introduced us to this. Now we have been introduced. But second, we are the network of sensory perceptions and thoughts, inner life and outer life. It creates like a veil on this. And so we do not attend to it. Although it's an open secret, it's always available, but it seems to be, we have gone away from it. You have never gone away. You can't go away from it. You are it. How can you go away from yourself? This is the meaning of open secret. I will end with a little story and then stop. All that we did here, Sri Ramakrishna, instead of doing all this heavy duty stuff, he tells a little story. He says there was a poor washerman, Indian washerman. And what he did was, he used to collect dirty laundry, take it to the riverbed and scrub it and clean it. He would use a rock for scrubbing. One day he found a rock, a peculiar rock. It was a big diamond, but of course he was too poor to know what a diamond is. He had never seen one, never even heard of what a diamond could be. And he thought it was a peculiar rock, but it was good for scrubbing dirty clothes, so he was scrubbing it. We are doing the same thing. We are the witness consciousness, always there, limitless, non-dual, all-pervasive. But what do we do with that witness consciousness? We are seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, walking, talking, fighting, arguing, being miserable, waking, dreaming, sleeping, living, dying, being born again. That's what we are doing with it. So he would scrub dirty laundry. But he was puzzled by what is this? Just like us, there's questions. We have questions. Who am I? What is all this? So he had a question, what is this rock? He went to his friend who was a vegetable seller. And the vegetable seller told him, it's a nice rock. I will give you 10 rupees for it. Luckily, he didn't sell it to the vegetable seller. He asked somebody who was more knowledgeable and so on and so forth. Finally, the story is he ends up with a diamond merchant who tells him, my God, this is the most amazing raw, uncut diamond I've ever seen. I'll give you 10 million rupees for it. And so he sold that diamond and all his poverty was over, ended. That's the story. And the story is very profound. We already have the diamond. And we have been using it so far. That's how we live our life, because of this consciousness, this diamond. But we don't know what it is. And just like that washerman, we are puzzled by it. We ask these questions. Who am I? What happens after death? Is there God? What is all this we are experiencing? What is life? Meaning, purpose? How can I overcome suffering? How can I attain lasting fulfillment? Just like that washerman, we are asking. And just like that washerman, we first go to the vegetable seller. Who's the vegetable seller? Nobel laureate scientist who tells you, yes, it's nice. It is a product of brain activity. A vegetable seller, 10 rupees I will give you for the diamond. It's a product of brain activity. Little more sophisticated, it is quantum state of the brain. Vegetable seller, no better. Don't sell it there for 10 rupees. Push further until we finally come to Vedanta, which introduces us to it. Selling it to the Vedantin means the Vedantin introduces us to what we already have. We can't give it away to anybody. But suddenly it unlocks and it shows us this one. The key is you're other than the known, other than the unknown. I use that to unlock everything which I said now. Everything is because of that, other than the known, other than the unknown. You are this limitless consciousness, ever shining, immortal. Bodies may come and go, nothing to you. Mind may rise and fall, nothing to you. Great and horrible experiences may come and go. It's because of you that they're coming and going. You are the movie screen on which they're playing, but you are not affected at all. You are the light by which the universe is revealed. You shining, the worlds shine. By your light, all this is revealed. This is your greatness. Once you are introduced to yourself, capital S self, from that perspective, what suffering? This solution is actually a beautiful solution. If something promised you that we will go to a certain place and there will be no more suffering, or you do this technique, then all your suffering will go away, I would be suspicious. Life is not so cheap. It can't be solved so easily. Here it does not escape. Everything that we know in life, common sense, everything remains as it is. But something much deeper is uncovered. From which perspective? It is fine now. For the first time, the scriptures make sense. Actual sense. Krishna says, attaining which nothing greater remains to be attained. Being centered in which the heaviest of sorrows cannot shake you. Yang labdhva na chaparam labham manyate tato adhikam yasmin sthito dukkhena gurunapi na vichalyate. So heavy sorrows will keep coming. Life will continue. Why will life continue? Because of you. You are consciousness. It is your play. It is your light. It is all light shining. What a beautiful phrase. It is all light shining. It's you shining. You are non-dual. Because all these things, they seem apart from you. They are you. And therefore all sorts of experiences will keep coming. But the moment you center yourself as your limitless nature, as consciousness, witness consciousness, the light ever shining, you will see you are not affected by it. You are fine. Then you begin to live life for the first time. An author said, Most men live lives of quiet desperation. For the first time you relax. When Vivekananda went to the West, to America, he met the great agnostic Robert Ingersoll, who told him, I don't believe in all this religion, spirituality. I believe in squeezing the orange of life. That's all we know, this life. So I believe in squeezing, getting every drop out of it. And Vivekananda said, I believe the same thing too. But I know of a better way of squeezing the orange of your life. What is that? He says, I know that I cannot die, therefore I am not in a hurry. I know I need not be afraid. There's no fear. I can love everyone as God because they're all one consciousness. I am all of this. Imagine the joy of loving the divine in all beings, and all beings as the divine. With the way Gita puts it, all beings in yourself and yourself in all beings. It's a fact right now. Where are all these beings? They are in you, the consciousness. Where are you? You are in them, all beings. Imagine loving the whole world, everybody, humans and non-humans, every sentient being as my own self. Vivekananda says, squeeze your orange in this way, get 10,000-fold more, get every single drop. This I'm quoting directly. So this is unpacking that one line, other than the known, other than the unknown. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. This is called experiential knowledge. It's knowledge, it's also it. I hope as much of it as possible is experienced, the more benefit you will get. If nothing of it is experiential, it's just theory, still not no harm, it's a nice theory to know. But I believe for most of us, good deal of it is, we can honestly claim it is already our experience. Is it not so? No, you're not confident. So it's time to hear from you. Please raise your hands. We'll go from here to the back. Please come, the gentleman here. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Swamiji, my name is Prasad. Feeling blessed in your presence. Based on hundreds of videos which I have watched in YouTube, and today's session, definitely, I feel that I made some progress.
Yes.
I think
take your time.
I'm feeling little emotional.
Take your time.
I could clearly see that I'm not my body, I'm not my mind, not even my intellect. But I always find that during the exercise, I found that was it the mind which was telling me that my awareness is constant, unchanging?
Yes, yes.
And then you took us to the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. And even in the deep sleep state, I found that yes, I'm different and I'm available.
Yes.
But then I couldn't see myself as part of that all-pervading, the real self. So, and then I got confused that yes, it's my mind and my intellect which is creating a block, and I was trying to see my eye with my own eyes, something like that. That was a feeling I got, and then at that point in time, I thought,
yes,
everything fell apart.
Yes.
So how can you help me?
Yes.
Get there?
Till the very end, you're on the right track. And at the end, one thing only is to be added. Don't do anything more. The effort of trying to grasp myself as this infinite consciousness, give up that effort, knowing that I am it. You can never grasp yourself. It is other than the known. That's why the power of that teaching, other than the known. The mind always tries to make it the known. It cannot be made the known. If you make it the known, it becomes an object to the mind. With great confidence, like a royal king which you are, let go of the mind and its effort to make it known. You say, thank you, mind, you have served me well. You helped me in listening to all these talks. You helped me with, you noted, I am the Sakshi. You noted, I am Nirantara, Nirvikara, I am Samaha, Aparoksha, Swaprakasha. All these things, mind has helped me. It's an instrument. Certainly it's the mind which is helping me, but it's noting something beyond the mind. But when the mind tries to grasp it, objectify it as, now I know the self. Remember, we do not know it, the master says, nor do we know how it can be known. And that's the real teaching. You must not make it an object of knowledge. That enlightenment will be at that point of clear appreciation of what I am with the mind. I let go of the mind. I let go of the mind in full confidence. The mind will still be there. Yoga Vasishta says, and at this point, not at the beginning of Vedanta, this is at the peak, at the final point almost. At that point, Yoga Vasishta says, tell the mind, O mind, whatever you can think of, I am not interested. Because I now know I am not you. And what I am interested in, you cannot think of it. You cannot go there. You cannot go there. That is me. Till that point, we cannot do it because we are so inextricably bound up with the mind. If we say that, we feel scared, as if I'll disappear. I will not be there. No, I'll be there. I'm most happily there. Let the mind disappear, senses disappear, body disappear, let the universe disappear. Not 1% of 1% of the reality is lost, because I am that reality. What is it? Other universes will come, other bodies and minds will come. They have. For millennia and billions of years and many cycles of creation, they have come and gone. It is nothing to me. Vivekananda says, let the body go, so what is wrong with it? What is your problem? It's less than a hair dropping from the body. We don't care. As long as even one body, in all these millions and billions of bodies, human and non-human, I am alive. In all these minds, in all these senses, I am enjoying, also suffering also. And I am thinking, I am understanding, I am remembering. It goes on. I am not diminished in the least by the presence or absence of the body, by the presence or absence of the mind. And if all bodies disappear, if all minds disappear, as it will in Mahapralaya, in the cosmic dissolution, I still remain in my Sway Mahimni, established in my own glory, in my own light and being. Good. And the gentleman there. And we'll go to the lady at the back.
Thank you, Swamiji. That was really enlightening. And I felt like as if the weight of the whole universe was put upon me.
Was put upon you. Yeah. Sometimes you should feel people feel the opposite. The whole weight is removed from you.
As if like everything is coming.
Yeah. But it's not a weight.
Yeah. Swamiji, my question is, if I have understood correctly, that means the farthest galaxy that I don't see is just a limitation of the instruments.
Yes.
And if we kind of extends the instrument, body and mind in all directions to infinity, I become the god of religion.
Yes. Very close to that. The instrument, you're right, you're using very classical Advaita Vedanta terminology without maybe knowing or knowing unknowingly. Our instrument is called Karana Sharira. The causal body, also known as, is the source of all our instruments. From that is produced our inner instrument, our sensory instrument, and our physical body also. Our causal body is very limited. The individual causal body, Anandamaya Kosha or Karana Sharira. But the causal body of God is Maya. So when your causal body becomes Maya, your limit becomes the entire universe, or the universe is within your limits. Right now, our causal body is very tiny, miserable. So our limit is this much. But beyond the Maya, beyond this limited causal body, we are the same infinite consciousness as God. We are one and the same. We heard that story, who was there? My Meister Eckhart saying, the ground of my soul and the ground of God are one and the same ground. Today what we did till now is that ground. What you found as your own ground is the ground of God. The lady there. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Yes, my name is Jana.
Yes.
And you said before that AI is not conscious, but when I'm right, AI is in consciousness. And so could one say that AI is a little bit like a self-similar Easter egg in Maya, somehow?
Yes. It's a simple distinction, actually. Our common distinction between conscious and not conscious is, yes, I am consciousness and everything else is appearing in consciousness. That's true. But for practical purposes, notice we say human beings and animals and plants, they are conscious, but this table and the glass and AI or the phone is not conscious. What gives us the right to make this distinction? The difference is this, that in these physical bodies, this body, on the living bodies here, the very fact when we say living body, there is another body present in this physical body, which is called the subtle body, which channels and magnifies consciousness or uses consciousness, what we call our minds. And physical things, just physical entities like the door or this glass or the phone or AI, they do not have that subtle body within them. So without the subtle body, every entity here will appear like just a physical thing without any inner consciousness. With the subtle body, we become what we call living beings. And living beings have life and also have this mind and consciousness illumining that mind. That's the difference between us. In a school, we read the difference between biology between living beings and non-living beings. In Vedanta, the difference is made in this way. Those entities, those physical entities which have a subtle body in them, they are called living beings, sentient beings. In Sanskrit, jiva. And those physical entities, like that rock or this floor or the ceiling, which do not have a subtle body in them, they are just called jada padartha, that means inert objects. But from a Vedantic perspective, the whole thing is an appearance in consciousness, whether with living bodies or without living bodies. Just that you, the consciousness, are more manifest in that being because that's a living being with a subtle body. You can manifest yourself much more. You can talk and walk and act and think and do things with will and intention. And the AI is copying us, but somehow it does not have that subtle body yet. So it can't manifest consciousness. That's the difference. Yes, the gentleman there. We'll come back here.
Pranam Swamiji, Tathagata here. So we understood that consciousness illuminates the objects and creates the experience. So experiences in consciousness. And also we talked about in Advaita, the same consciousness pervades all of us. Every individual. Then my question is, why for the same object of sense perception, the experience is different to different individuals?
Why for the same object, experience is different? Remember, our experience is not just consciousness plus object. Consciousness is everywhere, equally. As I said, samaha, everywhere, equally. Sarvatra, sarvavyapi, samaha. But how do we get experience? Consciousness does not directly illumine the object. So consciousness shining in the mind of this being, mediated through the sensory modalities. Now this being gets visual experience, auditory experience. And there is a psychological processing going on in the mind. Then a final experience is generated, illumined by the reflected consciousness in this mind. That's how experience is actually done in detail. Basic ideas, consciousness is required for experience. Without consciousness, no experience. But consciousness does not directly keep on having experience. Otherwise, there would be no need of bodies, no need of objects also. But what consciousness does is, it projects subject and object. If you want more detail, then the subject itself has a physical body, a sensory system, like a battery pack called life, prana, and a sensory system, and a processing mind, and a sense of ego, individuality. These are all part of the subject, but it's projected by the same consciousness. Now the subject experiences the object. What Advaita says, underlying both is one consciousness. Vivekananda said, one only exists. It appears as nature, soul. Even soul is not the ultimate reality. It is you, the consciousness, which is the underlying ground of both nature and soul. Now it explains why we have different perspectives. Because our bodies are different, our locations in space and time are different, our sensory modalities are different, our psychology is different. So everything we experience slightly differently. Who else? The lady here. Raise your hand aggressively.
Okay, so I will
Tell
try
us
to.
your name.
Oh, sorry. I'm Shobona. I will try to explain a sort of complicated question. So, we are. So everything is an appearance in consciousness, if I understand correctly, and so consciousness is one that appears as many.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I am consciousness. I hope I realize that someday. But if I am already one, then I would not want to express myself as many, because I will suffer if I am many. So why is consciousness exhibiting polymorphism in the form of all of us?
Yes, why? So this is the big question. It's not complicated, it's a fundamental question. When we investigate Advaita a little bit, we'll come to this question. Old question of why is the one appearing as the many? The many cannot be denied. We experience it. Everybody, materialist, scientist, atheist, theist, religious, spiritual, Vedantin, Buddhist, everybody experiences the many. But now you are saying underlying all of this, there is there's one reality, one. Then why did the one become the many? In Vedanta, we'll say one did not become the many, one is appearing as the many. Now comes our question. Why is one appearing as the many? Why is one appearing as the many? There are many answers to this. See what you like. Take your pick. One is, it is your play. Alan Watts was a British philosopher. A newspaper article called him part philosopher, part pirate. He was in the Bay Area in the 1950s, 60s, but many of his lectures are available online now. And his famous book, there are a number of small books, but one famous book is, it's called The Book. It's a very small book. And the subtitle is The Taboo Against Knowing Who You Are. It's about this, what we are talking about. So there he starts off with a little story, answering your question. It's a children's story, but it's very profound, fits for us actually. He says, in the beginning God existed, and there was nothing else, only God. Only the one, and existed from eternity to eternity. But eternity is a long time. It became very boring. And then God wanted to play. But whom will God play with? There's nobody else except God. And God thought, And God thought of a plan. Because God is very clever, he came up with a plan. He said, let me pretend to be not God. Then there will be two, God and not God, and then I can play. So he pretended to be not God. But the problem is, God is very good at what he does. When he pretended to be not God, he completely forgot he was not God. He was God. He completely forgot he was God. And now God, pretending to be not God, forgetting that he is God, is searching for God, and here we are. That's the play answer, and it's actually a serious answer. Leela vattu kaivalyam in Brahma Sutras, in Vedanta, one answer is Leela, divine play. Sri Ramakrishna once tried this answer. Somebody asked him this question, why is there so much suffering? And he said, one answer he gave was, well, it is God's play. Can we know? What can we understand? It is God's play. And the person was not satisfied by this answer. He said, it may be play for God, but it is death for us. Suffering? He said, suffering? It's death for us. Then Sri Ramakrishna's next answer, we can also give that answer now after all this. He said, but who are you? If you are God, if you are this limitless existence consciousness bliss, appearing as the world, then the world becomes your dream basically. Nivedita once asked Vivekananda, can I think of Kali as the dream of Shiva? You know that famous iconography, Shiva lying flat and Kali standing on his chest. So can I think of Shiva, Kali as the dream of Shiva? Swami Vivekananda thought for a moment and he laughed and he said, well, have it your way. So he approved, yes. This universe is nothing other than the Divine Mother, and that's your dream. You are Shiva. Now you can't complain. Even if you are suffering, but you are not really suffering, because you are fine. If I were truly destroyed, if there was true injustice, limitless injustice, death is the end, or life and death cycle is the end, there's nothing more than that, then it would be terrible. But if there's something beyond, something transcends, and I am that transcendent principle, then in one sense I am fine. Like Sri Ramakrishna answered to Hari, the young disciple. And he says, it hurts, I can't eat, cancer in the throat. And then he said, but you are in great bliss. He said, oh, you have found me out. If in the midst of everything I can be in great bliss, or the possibility is there that I can realize that, and everybody can realize that. You don't have to be a Hindu or a Vedantin or even a human being. An alien with the same mental equipment can also become because we are all that one underlying existence consciousness, please. I would say, why? Why? Think about it. What are the options before? This is my answer, but I'll give you Vivekananda's answer later on and the real answer from Vedanta. But my answer is also cute. What is the possibility, logical possibility before you, consciousness, to appear or not to appear, to be or not to be? Shakespeare. These are only two possibilities. Both you are doing. You are appearing as this universe. But the moment you fall asleep, deep sleep, nothing. The moment the universe ends in cosmic dissolution, pralaya, nothing. Then again you appear at the cosmic level as the universe, in your personal level in the waking and dreaming. So both are there. Appearance and non-appearance. If you, the limitless consciousness, did not appear as something, you would have said, what a useless limitless consciousness. Doesn't do anything. But when we appear as the samsara universe, we complain, why is it appearing? I am suffering so much. This is my answer. Logically, there are only two answers, and both Atman or Brahman or consciousness is ticking. Yes, check. I am doing both. I am appearing, I am also not appearing. The answer given by Swamiji and the actual answer in Vedanta is the question is wrong. You are asking why the one appears as the many. Why Brahman appears as the universe. But notice the structure of the question. Why? Why? What kind of answer will satisfy you? Because. Why is it wet? Because it rained. Why did it rain? Because of the clouds. Why are there clouds? Because of the sun and the water. Similarly, why is one appearing as the universe? You will have to ask, you have to answer, because something you have to give. But the thing is, the appearance of the one as the universe, the word appearance is important. That is Maya. And Maya in Vedanta is time-space causation. Time-space causation. Causation is why. Cause and effect. When you are asking why, you are asking for a cause. You are looking at an effect and asking for a cause. When you ask why the universe, in the universe, this question makes sense. You are asking for a cause of an effect. But we are asking for causation itself. You can't ask why causation. It's like asking why. Time, space, causation. It's like asking what was there before time. If you ask before, you have already accepted time. You can't logically put the question. If you ask what is there outside space, but outside and inside are space words. You have already accepted space. Similarly, if you ask why causation, why Maya, you have already accepted Maya. That question makes sense within Maya. But on this side of Maya, no question. One Swami put it beautifully. On this side of Maya, on this side of enlightenment, we have the question, no answer. I have not given you answer actually. And on that side of enlightenment, enlightened ones, they have the answer but no question. We'll end now. You've gone beyond time. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.